looking for novel harmonies, sequences of chords that haven't, been represented in any situation for thousands of years. I mean, we can do this in silly pop music, this language that's just perhaps dismissed by some people as merely reducible to the mechanisms of capital or whatever. Things can happen with this language that can't happen in these other, quote unquote experimental, languages. I really believe this. Consensus, we want radical dissensus. Why don't we make so-called experimental music in the strict sense, in the sense of Cage and his circle, or even in the sense of Schoenberg up to Xenakis and Stockhausen and stuff? It's because I take seriously this claim of Gilles Deleuze, right? That perhaps it's our task as artists to make an intensive use of a major language. I always smell a bit of stink of bad faith to these people that are involved in the contemporary art world and this kind of thing today, because it seems to me that mobilizes some kind of economy of distinction or sophistication, and it's not so much about some kind of living language. I definitely consider myself part of that whole philosophical tradition that regards the status quo as unacceptable and unjust. I had a professor in music school. He said I was a musical thrills junkie. He dismissed. He goes, "Oh, you're just one of those musical thrills junkies. You're just looking for that surprise. Just that moment, just that one moment." The whole '90s, man. I mean, me and my friends. I've talked to them about this. We just want to stomp that out. That was an error. It was a mistake. Those clowns, who didn't seem to care about music at all. Do you know what I mean? It was about them with their guitars. Making noise, but not in any way as radical as great rock and roll bands do, or as radical as the noise composers did. It's just. It was just a goofy mistake, that we'd like to obliterate from consciousness. You know what I mean? No, I don't know. Somebody asked me recently what I thought of Ariel's recent big success, and I said. No, he hasn't been embraced yet. He can be put right alongside, those clowns. You know what I mean? They haven't really understood what he's done.
It's always the same, as always. Sad and tongue-tied. It's got a memory.
I remember I went out to school in LA when I was 18. I'm hanging out with Ariel and stuff, and he grew up listening to Faust too, and Amon Duel and Cabaret Voltaire and all this stuff, and I just knew like Nirvana or something. You know what I mean? We'd be doing our home taping all week, and then on the weekend we'd get together and just play our stuff for each other. And there's nothing more inspirational than that, pushing each other on, challenging each other. And speaking of utopia, that would be kind of my utopia, right? because the whole world is just that, like us playing our tapes for each other. You know what I mean? So to speak, whatever our tapes are, you know, our movies, our poems, our equations, our war machines, as long as they're not, you know, just for fun, like let's make a missile just to shoot it at that wall or something, you know what I mean? Whatever. And what I've been doing so far is this whole kind of wager or suspicion or belief that the most radical thing we can do with pop, with rock, with punk, whatever you want to call it, is try to make it as poppy as possible. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, it's a longer, complicated, but I just hit the wall with that, and now, you know, I'm not sure that's the way to go. I mean, you know, all these records that are just universally accepted as part of this tradition go all sorts of places other than just that kind of place I've been trying to go, and I think it's stupid. It's been stupid of me not to kind of reach out more towards exploring some of those things, you know?